Suzanne. That's great. Thanks, Suzanne. Just recapping that we've opened the meeting and we've completed the welcome and the acknowledgement and recorded the single apology of Teresa Graybeck from the Polish welfare, and we have just moved and passed the minutes of the AGM last year. So moving on to the President's report, which is my report, that is contained within the annual report, but just to summarise, a very, very busy year for the peak body, and I think I've been involved with the peak body now for maybe 4 or 5 years, and I think every year it really improves, and this year is no exception. I guess the majority of the peak's time has really been focused on the key issues that are coming through from members, and they can be boiled down or summarised rather to obviously managing the COVID situation, and there's a lot of work that's gone into the sector support, the increased funding for Victoria, particularly around the Commonwealth Home Support funding, and the acknowledgement of a sector from the state funding as well, and the retention of block funding or grants funding for transport moving forward. What was really encouraging was the number of committee members that grew to 10 committee last AGM, which was fantastic, and it was great to have some diversity on the committee, and really the skill again and the the capability of individual committee members and as a collective really increased with the new directors coming on board. So that was really, really positive. Suzanne again did a fantastic job in leading the COVID information sessions for the sector, and they happened throughout the year. So a big congratulations to you, Suzanne, on that work, and I know that was well received by the members, sharing the our intellectual property as organisations in managing this issue together was really a real positive, and it was a great outcome for the peak body and of course the members. Encouraging the block funding, or now we're calling it grants funding, is I guess past the first hurdle as the extension working group and moving forward into the funding agreement extensions, that the grant funding's been maintained, at least for the moment, which is a really positive thing, and something that VICTAS and other peaks around the country and with the support of the National Peak Body Act have been advocating for some time. That's great to see the traction there. The CHSP growth funding, it was great to see that 90% or thereabouts of that went into Victoria, which is great. That's an absolute reflection, I think, on the work that the peak body's been doing over some time. It was great to see that result. Still not enough for Victoria. To acknowledge that the transport funding is still much underfunded compared to other states. There's lots and lots of work to be done there. Really positive was the funding from the Vic state government through its flexible local transport solutions program, providing some funding to the peak body of $50,000 to help sustain the peak body, and that's a great, I think, reflection on the sector. It's growing it's growing in stature in Victoria as a sector on its own, and that funding is going to really help propel the sector in Victoria, particularly over the coming years. So that's a real positive. Also, really want to congratulate all providers and members across VICTAS for how they've managed COVID and had to deal with all those challenges throughout the last 12 months. Transport, I think, has been a really important service throughout this period, and this capability of organisations has been on show, and a big well-run congratulations to everybody for getting through it to date. Obviously still lots of work to do, but it's probably the world as we know it. So big congratulations to all members and providers. To Suzanne, well done again on another fantastic year in providing a tremendous workload and effort in keeping the peak body and the members on track. It's a difficult job. We're all a bit strange. I think all the committee members in our own certain way. We all are all very passionate. So a big well done to you for keeping that moving forward. And of course, for all the committee members on the current committee, a big well done, congratulations, and thank you on behalf of the members for the work that you've done and getting us through to the AGM. So that's my President's report for the year. Viv, would you like to, have we got a motion there, Viv?
Yes, we do. The motion is that the chair report be accepted by the members. So I need someone to move that, please. JD, and seconded Barry. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thanks, Viv. Thanks all. Okay, we'll now move on to the financial report, and I'll now hand over to our Treasurer, Rita Lang, to take us through the finances for the year.
Thanks. Thanks, Lyndon. Firstly, I'd like to thank Suzanne. She's sort of brought together a really good AGM report. I don't know if you've had a chance to look at it. There's some great stories in there that sort of really highlights community transport and the value of community transport across Victoria and Tasmania. So thanks, Suzanne, for that. Basically, in my report in the AGM, there's 3 little sections really about our profits and loss. It's about our basically where we sit positioned, and then basically looking at the future. So I'll start with our income. Our income was 23,549, which included an increase of membership of 26%, which is really a great reflection again on Suzanne's work building rapport with members across Victoria and Tasmania and bringing them on board. We were also fortunate to have a cash flow boost of $10,000, which supported our work. We had expenses of 56,565, which is basically staff wages are our biggest expense, and we contributed to the VICTAS project research on valuing community transport across Australia. So we had an operating loss of $33,016, which we knew we would because our main income stream was holding a conference, which we couldn't do because of COVID. Our assets, so this is the position that we sit in. Our assets sits at $92,009. Our liabilities are $49,629. And you'll see in that that there's $40,000 on our balance sheet sitting in grants in advance, and this is the Department of Transport's money that will sit there, and as we use it, we'll transfer it across into our profit and loss statement. And so we sit with a current ratio of 1.85, which is a good indicator of being able to meet our financial needs if the worst scenario happens. At the end of the financial year, Lyndon has already alluded to our partnership with the Department of Transport, giving us funding to hold conference, workshops and training for our volunteers, and doing a statewide campaign across community transport awareness. And this also funds our EO for 1 day a week, an extra day. So our equity sits at 42,380, which is in a good financial position, but it's really imperative that we hold a conference next year so that we can increase our income stream. And as we look to the future, we need to be innovative, driving the value of community transport to the top level of government so that they can recognise the great work that community transport do across our sector. So I'd like to thank Suzanne for supporting me in the Treasury role. And as I finish up, is there any questions anyone would like to ask of me? Happy to answer. If you think of them after, just email me. Happy to answer any of them. If not, can I just put a motion through that we select the same auditor that we had last year? It was great to be able to just online do all our expenses and income, which are all held in our Xero account, and the auditor was able to do them remotely. So I'd like to put the motion through that we use Dean and Associates. I think their names are Withers, sorry.
Thanks, Rita. There are 2 motions now on the table. First one being that the Treasurer's report be accepted by members. So could I have someone move and second? Thank you, Anne and Danny.
And Prue.
Anne and Prue. Okay, thank you. And now Rita's motion that the Vtcta appoint Dean Withers and Associates as auditors for the 2021-2022 year. Yes, move. Yeah, Evelyn and Danny. Yeah, I'll mix it up. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Viv. And look, a big congratulations, Rita, as well, on the work that you've done again this year in making sure that those figures are communicated to committee members, and then, of course, members, and the accuracy of your work and the detail and the work you put into ensuring that we have a full optics, I guess, on the situation is much appreciated. So well done again.
Thank you.
We'll now move to the annual report, and again, echoing the words of Rita, that well done, Suzanne, for pulling this together and I think producing a really fine document. Again, the peak body is Suzanne's here. It's just gone to 3 days a week, and it's typically been 2 days a week. There's a lot of outcomes coming from that, which means there's also a lot of contribution from the committee members. But I think the annual report's a great document, not only visually, but the detail contained within it. So well done, Suzanne, for pulling that together. Are there any questions or any comments on the annual report? No. I'll take that we're all comfortable with the annual report. Viv, you've probably got some lovely words there where the committee is recommending to the members to accept the annual report.
Nice straight motion that the annual report be accepted by members.
Would someone like to move that, please?
Thanks, Barry. And I'll take JD. Thank you.
Thank you. Well done. Great. Okay, moving right along. Now on to membership fees. Obviously, membership fees need to be set at each AGM. So there has been some work done with Suzanne and Rita particularly, and the committee, of course, in getting this motion or this proposal and motion together for the members. Suzanne, would you like to add to what I've just said?
Yeah, sure. So last year we did a review of the membership rates against other peak bodies across this country, and because the previous 2 years we hadn't increased the member rates at all, so we put them up last year, and that was endorsed by the members. This year we have looked at, the proposal is just to increase them by 5% across the board.
Yeah, great. So well done to go on that work. I think we're good value for money, but also too, we need to ensure that it's affordable and sustainable for not only members, but for the peaks. I think what you've come up here, Suzanne, again, is supported by the committee, is really positive. We have a motion there. Vivi, would you like to just read out that motion, please?
The motion is that the membership fees as detailed be adopted for 2022-2023. So move. So yeah, Prue and Richard, thank you.
Thank you. And I will consider there's no further comments about that particular issue. Great, lovely, thank you. Okay, moving along to now the election of the committee.
Lyndon, there is a second motion, sorry on that.
Sorry.
That the due date for payment of 2022-2023 membership be the 30th of May 2023. Yep, so can I just have two people put their hands up, please? Prue, thank you. Janine, thank you. Without anybody screaming that they disapprove, I'll put that as carried. Thank you.
Wonderful, thank you. Okay, so moving on to the election of the committee, we have the president, vice president, treasurer and secretary positions to deal with, and we have the committee. What I will do, well, actually what I'll say initially is that last year the rules start off with a committee of obviously the four officer positions, and we have our four ordinary committee members. Last year that the members decided to exercise the rule within the constitution to increase the ordinary committee members from 4 to 6, which I think was really, really positive. We have received additional committee nominations again this year, was fantastic. And so we'll deal with that in a moment, but we will start off with the president role. So I'll vacate the chair of president, and I'll now move that over to Richard. If you could step in that position while we deal with the election of the president.
You're on mute, Richard.
I should have got used to this after 18 months or so, shouldn't I? First of all, thanks to Lyndon for all the work he does as chair of the peak body. I think we're very lucky as a peak body to have Lyndon as the chair, with his involvement also as the chair of VICTAS. So thank you to Lyndon. So in dealing with the election of the president, just want to ask, in line with VICTAS rules, Suzanne, what are the nominations? I believe we only have the one nomination, which is Lyndon again.
Yeah, that's correct. Yes.
Okay, so just ask if everyone is accepting. Do we need to move a motion that we elect Lyndon again, unopposed.
No, Richard, there's no motion. There's only one nomination, so he's elected unopposed.
No worries. All right. So congratulations, Lyndon. We're re-elected, and yeah, I think as I said, we're very lucky to have you as chair.
Thanks very much, Richard, and thanks again for the confidence, everyone, and look forward to doing it all again for one more year. That'd be great. Fantastic. Now moving on to the role of Vice President. I believe we've received one nomination for the role of Vice President. Suzanne, can you please confirm that be the case?
Yes, we've just received one, which is Richard Garlick.
In line with our rules, of course.
Yes.
Are there any other nominations for the role of Vice President from the floor? I'll take that as no. So again, congratulations, Richard, for taking on the Vice President role unopposed. Congratulations. Well done. Now we move on to the position of Treasurer. I believe we've received the one nomination for Treasurer, being Rita Lang. Suzanne, can you confirm that to be the case, please?
Yes, that's correct.
Are there any other nominations from the floor for the role of Treasurer? And if there's no other nominations, congratulations, Rita, for being appointed unopposed to the role of Treasurer. Congratulations, well done. We'll move on to the role of Secretary. I believe we received one nomination for the role of Secretary, being Vivian Cunningham-Smith. Suzanne, can you please confirm that we've received just the one?
That's correct, yes.
Line, thank you. Are there any other nominations from the floor for the role of Secretary? No. Congratulations, Viv, for being appointed again unopposed to the role of Secretary of the Peak Body. We'll now move on. Now we have got moving into this. So that's the officer roles, if I can call them that, satisfied. So congratulations to everyone. We now move on to the committee. We've received, and Susan, I'll get you to confirm this, but we've received a committee nomination for Anne Burgess, Danny Davis, JD Hunter, Janine Livingston, Melanie Trivett, Prue Dimitri, Robbie Miller. Can you please confirm that they have all been received in line with the rules of the association?
Yes, they all have, yes.
And are there any other nominations that have been received?
No.
Are there any other nominations from the floor? Take that as possibly not. Thank you. So that's great. So we have a position now where we have the rules of the association provide for 4 ordinary committee members. We have 7. Last year we had 6. I thought 6 worked quite well. My personal views, I cannot see why 7 wouldn't work really well. However, we do need a motion from the members to increase the ordinary committee members from 4 to 7 if we are to do that.
And that motion reads, in accordance with Article 53.1 of the Constitution, members agree that the number of ordinary members will be 7 for the 2021-2022 period. I need someone to move that, please. Rita, thank you. And Barry to second.
Should that say ordinary members of the committee?
I can add that, Danny. Yes.
Great. Wonderful. Well, that being the case, we have now 7 vacancies. We have 7 nominations, again being Anne Burgess, Danny Davis, JD Hunter, Janine Livingston, Melanie Trivett, Prue Dimitri and Robbie Miller. And I will now confirm that those positions have been elected unopposed. Congratulations and well done to everyone, and thank you so much for you putting your hand up to be involved on the committee. Well done. Okay. Did someone move that? I missed that. Did someone move that? They did, didn't they? Yes, sorry.
Yeah, they're all elected unopposed, so all good.
Right, excellent, well done. Well, there's been no other business. I will now, and if there is no other business, I'll call the meeting a close at 1:30. And thank you all very much for your attendance and participation.
Good to have everyone on board.
Thanks so much.
Well done, everyone.
Well done, everyone.
Thanks.